What's up, guys? It's Eli here with Night Jiu-Jitsu. I'm here with my buddy Sean McCleary. He was nice enough to come over to see me today while I'm teaching the seminar at Gracie Fernandina here in wherever we are in Florida. Yulee, Florida is the place where it's at. So, and big shout out to Possum for having me in today. This has been a fantastic day. We talked about crucifix stuff, but that's not what we're going to talk about in this video. I was talking to him and we were sharing some ideas about like arm saddle, Choi bar kind of area like that. So we both like playing this kind of position and have some similar things. And he was showing me something really cool that I like for him to show, and then I'll show like my thoughts on like a kind of a adjacent position to it. So maybe you can get something out of this, guys. Can you want to show them what you got, Sean?
Yeah. All right, so when we're here in close guard, you see I like setting up my regular arm bars with a cross grab over the tricep, pulling cross body, and then setting it up here. Now, oftentimes, if I'm loose setting this up, they start pulling out this arm, and I'll start underhooking here and going into a modified K-guard, driving this knee to the mat. So one of two things can happen is if he's savvy with defending arm bars and he keeps it on this side, maybe I miss this catch, one of the things that I can do is start driving this leg over, even though his arm is in the way. It's not going to be much of a hindrance over here if I start pulling the knee. And if he tries to, he's going to go that way because he feels the less pressure, least resistance. But now I bring this arm under the shin, pass it to my top side armpit as I hook for my backside 50-50 grip.
So that's one of my favorite like leg entries is from that kind of modified K-guard, like how he goes from closed guard, arm bar thread gets me out of the way, and then goes into that backside 50-50. That's one of my favorite things from there. I tend to play this like that same kind of idea, but going from off of an arm crunch. So it's kind of the inverse of that straight arm, right? And so if I'm doing maybe more from like a butterfly guard a lot of the time, and I start going here for this arm crunch like this, which is one of my favorite submissions. And if I can get my foot on the hip and then bring my shin up here by his head, I'm trying to roll this over. I don't like to go to razor lock necessarily. I like to catch there above the elbow and then go wrist to wrist, pinch my knees together, pinch my ear and shoulder together by the wrist, and then get this here. Now, sometimes what the guy will do in response to this is he'll start trying to like turn out of the pressure. And if that shoulder starts to dip, what I'm gonna do is pummel my knee and press his shoulder down like that, because now that gives me the clearance to be able to pummel over and inside. Right now, off of this here, if I slide from here, the arm crunch is kind of gone, but if I slide down to the wrist and I have my two legs pummeled inside, now I can hip in and we've got this kind of Choi bar. Choi bar is the name that this is colloquially called. Sometimes the guy, he'll want to like roll out of this or roll over that shoulder, for example, like, and if he does that here, then we just keep the legs crossed and he actually puts himself in a worse position sometimes, and then that's the finish. Now, additionally though, what will happen off of this is if we wind up in that kind of position, here this way, and I've got the legs pummeled in, then if he wants to try to defend by like sucking this arm inside, yeah, and grabbing like that. Now this is a new problem because obviously it's going to probably hard for me to start pulling that out of there. So what I can look to do is I can grab them to my thigh or the tricep, whichever is more available, and then I'm going to start hooking by this leg here and then start to pummel up and down this way. Now, once I get to my head, if you can see over here this way, depending on how he's posted on that other arm, I might be able to start hooking up here and then start rising up, getting this leg to the back of his neck, right? Now this is a little weird at this point, but because I'm stationed here, I can start grabbing up on his head and start pulling him in to this triangle right here, which gives me another good kind of entry. Now, additionally, what that happens sometimes too, is once you get pummeled over to the inside, he's tucking like that. If I can start to use that grip here to start to come and pummel around, I can actually use this to start taking his back and pushing myself up, getting the seatbelt. And so somebody that you'll see that's really good at that is Levi Jones-Leary. That's probably a poor man's imitation of him because he's a master at that position, but it's a really good and versatile position where you can you can find all kinds of stuff out of there. You got a knee bar that Sean just showed, you've got the backside 50-50, which is phenomenal. You've got the Choi bar, you've got the arm crunch, power kimuras live there, back takes, all kinds of stuff. Anything else that comes off of there?
I think that's it for me.
So anyway, like, let me know what you think about that. If you got other kind of entries and other submissions in there, leave a comment down there. And check out, what's your YouTube channel?
Schismatic Industries Instructionals.
Schismatic Industries. Schismatic Industry is also responsible for making the really dope rash guards that he's got. And so the rash guard sets are phenomenal. I've got some of those too. I'm sponsored by Robliss these days, but look at this guy for like some phenomenal gear as well. And anyway, again, thank you for Gracie Fernandina for having us out. And I appreciate you guys watching. Go check out his channel and make sure you like, subscribe, follow, do all that stuff to mine too.